Uh, 1 second. I'm slow. What? While I'm slow, hit the like button. Oh, hold on. Bang, bang. Find all active live sources. Activate. Bang, bang. Okay, looking good, looking good. What up, chat? All right, so now I should be able to do this, and then this, and then, uh-oh, maybe not. All right, okay, so we got Twitch going, we got YouTube going. Okay, let's see, 1, 2, 3. I'm actually working. Okay, we want to break. Gotcha. Okay, all right, copy. Let's do this. Open window, new window. Bang. Um, there we go. Where am I at? Bang. What up, Senfei? Bang, bang. There we go. All right. I'll tell you what, it's been cold. It has been cold, y'all. Bang, bang, bang. Okay, that works. That works. Properties. Oops, cancel. Properties. All right. Let me know if you guys can hear this real quick. Uh, Sound test. Oh, cool. I don't care if it's left or right.
Both channels. Both channels.
Good. What's going on, Alan? Alan's Overture. All right, that's all right. You at the doctor? Why? They're telling you don't get enough sleep. You spend 15 hours a day on Minecraft. Yeah, Google. What about it? Can you guys hear that?
Both channels.
Looks like you can. Okay, all right. There we go. There we go. Okay. All right, there we go. 1, 2, 2. Make a pile. They call me Google. Be careful, Sanfei. Make sure they don't give you one that makes you poop all the time. I think that's what happened to me. What up, shark shooter? What up, brother? Why are you so old? So there's this thing called history, and because I was born in history before you, it makes me older than you. What up, stoned? And getting blood drawn. Okay, there you go. Get it checked. Get your vitamins checked too. Tell them to check for your vitamin levels, and tell them you want a copy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, I know. I know, dude. It's nuts. It's nuts. It's absolutely crazy. It's crazy that they don't teach us about this stuff. We gotta wait till we're old to find out about it. Okay, what are we looking for here? I wanna look for something here. YouTube. Turn off the sound test. What? Oh, let's look at this. Let's look at Microsoft threatening people. Doing good, Shark, brother. Doing
All
good.
users say no to Windows 11. Actually, they said, remind me in 3 days, since Microsoft haven't installed a no, I don't want this ever button. So why is this a security disaster? Well, it isn't yet, but Microsoft wants to use fear to get you to upgrade. Windows
Yeah,
10
that's
is
never any
unsafe.
good.
Windows 11 is the only way, at least until Microsoft retires Windows 10 security and forces your hand. Dell have revealed that around 1 billion PCs are still running Windows 10, and half of those
billion.
machines can upgrade and just won't. So why not upgrade? Well, the reason is simple. Well, other than Windows 11 is shit, the reason is simple.
Agreed.
It feels like a step backwards. The UI is worse. There's the constant pushing of AI features, Copilot, Edge. Who uses Edge? No one has ever used Edge. Like, come on. Most
They're putting AI in Notepad.
of the world use Chrome. I use Firefox because you can block YouTube ads. Hint, hint. People aren't resisting the technology, they're resisting the spam. As one Reddit user put it, Microsoft has trained its users to ignore every message that pops up.
Right.
Years of forcing notifications, random pop ups, and those manipulative little, are you sure you want to click no? Come on, it's reprogrammed everyone into treating Windows messages like junk mail. And underneath it all, there's this planned obsolescence to everything. Planned obsolescence. You know when you buy a phone and then
Watching this video. Yeah, I've only been on for about a week. I've been on YouTube for about a year. Shark, brother. But yeah, so I decided I finally got monetized and everything on YouTube partner, so I figured I'd go for Twitch affiliate next. It's my next goal.
3 years later, suddenly it's really slow and you're like, oh, I guess I need a new phone. No, you don't need a new phone. That phone should last 10 years.
Right.
But it doesn't because they want you to buy the latest model.
So I saw this thing earlier today too about YouTube. Not YouTube. About let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, that's a good one.
Has happened. I know. I'm about to report something that I think has never happened before. Microsoft released a bad update. Yes, but this update was so bad that simple things like the Windows button just wouldn't work. By the way, I also want to say the person who made this.
I do. Yeah. We'll see. I mean, I got a lot. I don't have anybody right now to handle that for me, and I can't pay for it. So I'm gonna do it slowly, but hopefully, my friend, I'll get there. I'm rocking an LG phone. My bill is $15 a month. So my entire channel, my entire YouTube channel, everything I've ever done on it was done from this: a Samsung Galaxy 10 economy it's broken in all kinds of places. It's missing the lenses, the lens coverings for the camera. And I've recorded every single YouTube video, 1,000 YouTube videos, went live hundreds of times, all from this thing, and it got me to the point of now I get paid to be on to stream, and then finally I upgraded. But yeah, you don't absolutely don't need it. I'm a designer, but I'll make you a reasonable price. I can't pay for anything, brother. I can't pay for anything, Shark, my friend. I've got some people right now making me offers for like a percentage for like 6 months, like because I'm not primarily a gamer, and most people want to offer me like a gaming rig type, gaming layout overlays and stuff, and that's not what I do. I only play Minecraft for 2 hours a stream, and I stream for like usually like 8. Well, since the weather issues up, but like 8 to 10 hours a day. So the people I'm talking to now, they're talking about like a percentage for a few months. Like once I get monetized on a platform, they get 10% for 3 months of whatever that is, rather than just an upfront cost. So, but yeah, so right now I'm just getting content out slowly. Yeah, I'm not worried about getting 1,000 subscribers or followers tomorrow. Because I would rather build a slow, solid user base or viewer base rather than buying. But yeah, I appreciate it. Oops, I broke it. Let's see. Hey, what up, Sen? Hey. History.
Also, just black screens of death. Oh yes, you've heard about blue
What
screens.
up, Julio?
These ones are worse.
Good.
And of course, everybody's favorite program, Notepad. Yes, Notepad is currently not available in your account. How did you screw up Notepad? It's simpler than Nano. How did you do this, Microsoft? Anyways, let's go over this little fun patch. Let's have a good old laugh at Microsoft and their nonstop pursuit of making the world's best case for Linux. So this all started January 13th, 2026. You know, just a simple cumulative update for Windows 11
What up,
version
Space Cow?
25H2 and a 24H2 KB5074109. Includes the latest security fixes and improvements. At least we're talking about so many apps, which hurts me because there was a day a long time
Watch
ago
this.
when you would be able to take Windows, press enter, and boom, it just launched. Look at this. Look at how fast that is. That's Microsoft Word launching in a fraction of a second, maybe 0.75 of a second. And this is from a Pentium 4 400 megahertz, still on like one of those disk platter drives that had to like read.
Right. It's so crazy how fast computers used to be. And then because I think this is why so many people switched over to Linux. So many computers used to be so fast, so fast. How did they slow it? Well, it got better. Well, what do you mean? I can still do everything. But why is it making it slower? Yes. Did you see how fast that was? Right. And this was on a 400 megahertz machine. Megahertz. A gigahertz is 1,000 megahertz. This was 400 megahertz, and like my PC here is 4 gigahertz. So it's 1,000 times faster, and it's 1,000 times slower. That doesn't make any sense. So there's so much other bull crap, and this did spell check and grammar fixes and all that other stuff that you could do. Yeah, you spelled it right. Yep. All right, let's see what Space Gal's got here. All right, hold on. Let's see. Oops. Let's see. Let's see here. Bang, bang.
And your truck's gone to shit, we can help you with your truck.
You got small balls and your truck just stalled, we can help you with your truck.
Maybe you own a trailer and your brakes are failure. We can help you with your trailer.
So get with us here at Robinson.
Right, yeah, doesn't make any sense. Thank you, Julio. Thank you. Yeah.
You can call us at 515-726-9144.
Your boss a prick and your truck's gone to shit, we can help you with your truck.
You got small balls and your truck just stalled, we can help you with your truck.
Maybe you own a trailer and your brakes are failure. We can help you with your trailer.
So get with us here at Robinson Truck and Trailer.
That's freaking hilarious. Yeah, so and listen, we used to game back in the days, even 3D gaming. Yeah, the 3D wasn't exact, but the thing is, for the amount that we've gained in like quality, it doesn't make sense that, especially the basic, it doesn't, listen, like there's a Linux distribution that fits on a 3.5-inch floppy disk. One, not gigs, 1.44 megabytes. That's it. If it's on there. So we don't need 8 gigs of memory being taken for our operating systems. It's absolutely crazy. And like the machine next to me is 13 years old. That's running Linux, and it's running multiple servers, including a Minecraft server. So, and it's like 1.3 gigahertz, 6 gigs of RAM, and it's running an entire. And the operating system is the 2026 release of Ubuntu. So it's like it runs absolutely fine. Everything's boom, 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 fast as it. It's amazing because they send so much stuff over the internet nowadays, and they have local AI. And the thing is, like, even the stuff like the completes, the auto completes and stuff like that, they consider that AI. So it's got to think, it's got to be predictive. So it's always got to be watching what you're doing and saying, hey, you might want to be doing this. You might want to be saying print rather than precious or whatever, you know? It's absolutely crazy. What up, B2B? My buddy, me and my buddy, my me and my buddy are building a Minecraft server this weekend, and what Linux are we going with? I use Ubuntu. I'll show you right now, and you can do everything. You only need to do like one thing from the command line to install Minecraft, and I did it that way because I don't want graphics. Like I don't need a window interface to run the server like this. Like I can't really show you right now, but yeah, it's all like it's got the Linux operating system's all graphics, just like Macintosh or Windows, whatever. And but I just run Minecraft server, and that's what you'll do, and then you'll just have to update it, and you can do all that once you spend 5 minutes setting up the server in the command line. It just runs, and then everything else, all your updates and everything's done from the Windows part of it. So you don't need it's yeah. Let me show you. Ubuntu. This is the one that I run right here, and this is so you can see it's already highlighted down there. Ubuntu desktop, and I'm not even running Ubuntu server edition because I don't need to run a web server. I don't need to worry about that. You just need to run. Yeah. What's up? What's up, Isla? What up, Robert? Hi, mucho tiempo, que no uso Microsoft. I still use smoke signals and drums to communicate. Different operating systems. What's up, yummers? So Ubuntu, and I'll show you what it is here. I mean, this is what it looks like. It looks like everything is on the side instead of the command taskbar being along the bottom. It's along the left-hand side, but it's all Hold on, let me just. This is 24.4. This is what I'm running. And it runs Steam. And it doesn't have any of the crap. I'm running, that's what I'm running, yummers. I'm running Ubuntu. I'm running it on my server and on my streaming machine. The only time I'm running Linux, so I run it dual boot. So you can still leave Windows on your machine if you have problems. Like I haven't spent the time to put Minecraft on my Linux machine. I'm running Minecraft server, and I'm running a Java server that allows Bedrock clients to connect also. So whether you've got Pocket Edition, Bedrock, or Java, you can play on the server. And so I haven't got that. So I boot in when I reboot the computer, I get a menu. It says you want to run Ubuntu or Windows, and then depending what I want to do. So, but for just streaming, surfing the internet, running Ubuntu does and it's so much faster. Graphic design, Blender, game all that stuff. Steam, everything. But I swear I've forgotten about posting a video. I know it for her. Yeah. Do you need to do anything? No. It just works. That's what I have. An AMD. I have an AMD Ryzen 5 7000 series with an AMD graphics card, and it just works. And listen, what you can do, take if you've got a thumb drive, download the Ubuntu ISO off of their website and plug it into your laptop or your computer and reboot, and you can play with it. You can without installing it. It's so small. It uses so little memory. It can run off of a memory. What are these things called? Ubuntu USB stick. So you can, and then if you're like, wow, I like this, then you can add it, you can install it alongside of Windows. So if you're like, oh, this sucks, you just reboot, click, and then say go to Windows, and they can be dual booted. Richard, do I utilize Microsoft? I prefer not to. Do you ever call House of Pain? Jump. jump. We spent $900 on RAM. We need to save money on OS. Yeah, dude, don't pay for an OS. Yeah, especially, listen, download Ubuntu, stick it, as soon as you're done installing it, and you copy everything over to the memory stick the way you need to do it, reboot and play with it. Just go to try. It says, gives you options. Try it, install it, or whatever. Just click try, and it runs from the memory stick. It runs from the USB stick. So it won't even touch your machine, and you can still access all the files that were there on Windows. You might have to turn off BitLocker before you install it and whatever, but that takes 2 clicks or whatever. Yeah, and you'll be like, yeah, this sucks. This is absolutely, Windows is so bloated, so slow, advertisements, everything. And yeah, it's way better. You got, you got, right, that grub menu, right, exactly. That's what allows you to choose the operating system. Well, not just that, but that's in particular what allows you to choose it. What up, Sandeep? What up, Shayna? Are you sure? Are you sure you're sure? Yeah, I've got AMD. Yeah. Processor and video card. Richard, is it snowing? No, it's not snowing here. Single drive. You take a minute or two to partition your drive using Windows disk management, and the website will walk you through it. It'll walk you through every single step you need to do. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. 3, 4, shut the door. Hey, no problem. Bonjour, Richard. C'est moi que parle en français. Mas Jaden parle que tu utilises Microsoft. J'ai demandé que est la première année où tu utilises Microsoft the première fois. Does Microsoft run Premiere? Yes. And so does you can run equal Computer Geeks. If you run equal things on what's up, Rufus? Do you download? No, I don't. I absolutely don't. 100% not. You definitely want to stay as far away from adult content as possible. Bonjour. Who is Julio? Julio is Julio. He's on. You probably can't see him in the chat there because he's on Twitch. All right. Richard's French is almost as bad as his Greek. Agreed. And my Spanish. Let me see. Hold on one second. All right, hold on. What a mess. All right, let's see. Hello, Richard. It's me speaking French, but I didn't say that you use Microsoft. I asked, what is the first year you used Microsoft? The 1990s? Maybe late 1980s? Yeah, Microsoft? No, yeah, 1980s when Microsoft MS-DOS. Me and Julio down by the schoolyard. I don't even know what that means. I speak different languages. You should look up what language I speak. Azerbaijan. Richard, what time are we going to play Kahoot? Yeah, we'll plan it out. Yeah, on the Discord, if people, you can click on the Discord for the community. Go to games and say what day you want to, and then if we get 2 or 3 more people that want to do it, we'll do it. On a single drive, I tried to remove Ubuntu after having dual boot system, but it messed up my Windows. Plus, every time I need to install Windows first before we can have Windows. No, I don't know what you're running. 100%. I mean, I can show you right now. and I can. So you have to partition your drive, so that they don't even. So when you open up Linux, it's on its own drive. It won't even touch Windows at all. It's on its own. It turns your SSD, instead of it being your C drive, it makes it your C drive and your W drive. And then you install Linux on your W drive. It's the same physical drive, but it partitions it. So then when you want to go to your old files, you click on the C drive and you look at your old file through your Linux installation. So you're not putting both of them on the same. It's the same physical drive, but they're different drives, and you do that partitioning in Windows. If you try to do it, they'll fight. Add to it down. All right, Kat. Ciao. I got the mambo. I'm speaking Italian. I probably have to leave around 3:50. That's okay. Yes, it's okay with me, buddy. I'm busy. Yeah, always take care of what you have to do, sir. Real life for everyone. Real life matters more than the internet. Your family matters more than anything. Make sure you take care of that first. When you have spare time, yeah, absolutely. I may be on this evening though. I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do a later stream. Lame. In USB, how does that work? No one knows what's in it. In USB, how does it work? And knows what's in it. So when you have the USB stick plugged into your computer and you reboot your computer, if your computer isn't already set up to check for a USB boot, to boot from USB before, then you have to like hit delete and set that up. It takes about 5 seconds. When you reboot and it comes up, the first text comes up or whatever, you hit like delete or F12. It'll tell you on the screen. And then you hit that, and then it says boot menu. And then you say boot from the USB stick first. And then if there's no USB, it just goes to Windows. But yeah, it's nice and easy. Gaia Telemente, as I manually create partitions, ESP and everything, but I can't install Windows afterwards. It messes with the grub menu. Brother, I've done it thousands of times and I've never had an issue. So I've done it thousands of times. When I used to do programming in Visual Basic, I would do my programming in Windows, but whenever I would do testing across platforms, I didn't have enough money to have multiple machines. So I would always dual boot. I can guarantee it can be a problem. Absolutely, there can be bugs, there can be issues. With the setups I have, I've never had an issue. If you do your partitioning in Windows, if you buy a Windows machine or whatever, you install Windows and you partition the drive there. If you do it the other way around, because the BIOS is set, it's expecting Windows. So it sets things up for that. So if you format your drive and you install Linux, then you try to dual boot Windows, that I do not know about. That could definitely be a problem. It never has been for me. I've never had an issue. But also, I'm talking about Ubuntu particularly, not every other form. Ubuntu works so well with machines meant for Linux or built for Windows. So other ones, Mint, Red Hat, Kali Linux, all that they all have different. But I've been a fan of and when I decided to swap this time on this machine from Windows to Linux, I tried Mint and then Mint I had problems with. So I went to Ubuntu and I've had no problems ever at all. Never on any of my Ubuntu Windows dual boot situations have I had problems. I'm trying to become a pharmacist apprentice for Walgreens. I want to take serious like SpongeBob, even if it's no, take it seriously. Absolutely. Yes, listen, yeah. Listen, no matter what job you do, you can learn skills for yourself. Like you can learn, do the best you can. Don't try to chase girls or boys while you're there. Don't get there, make your money. Listen, the reason the legal system is set up the way it is in most countries is to affect you so you can't make money. When they put you in jail, they give you like 5 years where you can't grow financially. That's what the sentence is for, is so you can't make money. So whenever you're not in jail, not in prison, you want to do what you want to separate your time, partition your time and say, this is for working and for making money. Don't do things while you're making money that can cost you money. Yeah, make the most you can. He's from Panda OS off of CD-ROM. Right. How do you think dual boot is easier on hand-built PCs opposed? I've had no problems. So when you do the first run, when you do the first install, like I said, you download it to a thumb drive and you boot from the thumb drive. It will tell you if there's any active, like it'll say, hey, we don't have drivers for this and no one's ever built one. Then you say, okay, I don't want to fight that. I'll use Windows until it pops up. or you can try a different flavor of Linux. But if it works on like Debian or Debian based Linux, it'll work. And the thing is, Microsoft is screwing up so bad now that more than 10% of people running PCs and at office and home are now running Linux. 10%. It's never, last year, the highest it ever got was 3%. So a lot of companies, a lot of hardware manufacturers, and because of Steam doing, for gaming, they went full Linux also. So a lot of gaming companies, a lot of hardware manufacturers have made drivers and everything to work with Linux because Steam its back end is on Linux. Linux is the best way. Go Shells! Hey, what up, Derek? Yo, it's Henry again. I'm back. Everybody, double tap the screen. See what happens. What up, Henry? The USB went in. The other side, force will happen. If the USB went in from the other side on force, we'll have it'll crash. You'll have to reboot. Now he's speaking Cyrillic. Good afternoon, Rick. I skipped school again. Oh no, I don't want to do that. I did the same quite a bit. I really never had any problems, brother. Never had any problems. So 99% of the time, I get a machine that's got Windows on it, and the first thing I do is I go to Ubuntu's website, I download it, and I use Rufus to make the thumb drive. Rufus, RUFUS, is the program. So you would download Ubuntu, click download Ubuntu for desktops. And then after you download it, you would go and you would download Rufus, RUFUS, okay? And then Rufus, right here, it's first thing that pops up, create bootable USB drives. So it's as easy as this. So when you're running Rufus, this is the only screen you ever see. And what you do is just at the top, you click, it says image option. You click the thumb drive you want to put it on, image option, you hit select, and you select the Ubuntu file you just downloaded, and then you hit start at the bottom. And then that's it. You hit start at the bottom, and then it does it. When it's done, you reboot. That's it. You just go to Windows, click start, shut down, reboot, and then it'll reboot. If it doesn't boot directly off the drive, you have to hit delete or whatever to get to it, and that's it. And then once Ubuntu pops up, you just hit try, and it'll just boom, go right into the desktop, and then you can play around with it. And if you like it, you can click install. And then, but if you like it, you have to go back to Windows, and you have to partition the drive using Windows Disk Manager. If you want to keep your Windows, you have to do it that way. At least that's the way I've always done it. You've always faced the same issue. Linux vanished. Man, yeah, that's not good. So if you have BitLocker or anything like that installed, and Windows or your antivirus thinks that, hey, this doesn't belong here, then it will go back to an image which doesn't have the Linux on there. So it sounds like that's what the problem was. It sounds like you may have an image for antivirus protection or ransomware protection, where it images your drive and then it says, oh, there's something different. Let's go back to a previous state. All right, loves. I used Rufus to make installation. Okay. I skipped because it's kind of Gen Z called a filler day because basically all the class teachers like self-studies. Oh, gotcha. So many mods I wasn't aware before. Now what's going on? What's going on, Adam? You have no coding skills? Brother, listen, the first thing you want to do is decide on the product. Or the project. What do you want to make? I want to make a calculator. Okay, choose any language you want to learn and then say, I want to make a calculator. Then you start saying, okay, how do I make a calculator? Okay, well, sir, first off, I need a way to put numbers into the screen, and then you do it step by step like that. You don't just say, I want to learn English. Okay, well, if you want to learn English, how do you say I want to go to the bathroom, right? You decide the end, what's the goal, and then you troubleshoot to get to the goal. But yeah, I heard Wine makes it so any Windows applications can work in the Linux environment. My Minecraft server is going to be 24/7. Yes, yeah. Wine does a lot, but there's a lot that it doesn't do very well, which is understandable. But you can the thing to do is find replacements for the Windows programs you use. Like if you use if you use Adobe After Effects, you can use Shotcut, which is a free open source Linux that it doesn't do exactly the same thing, but if it does everything that you want it to do, then find that. Find open source versions of what you use. Like Blender works for across everything. Godot game creation, works across, and you don't need Wine. But that's why you would want to dual boot. If there's a program that you're going to spend hours in that requires Windows, you dual boot back to Windows for that, and then because that's it, and then you can go back to Linux for the whole rest of your day or your week. Hashtag OG Richardsons. All right, let me see. One second, Space Cow. Richard, I guess I have to leave early. Change the plans. Goodbye. Ciao. Have a good day, brother. See you next. Some people want Linux, Windows servers, high-end gaming PCs. I want a 2.5 liter BMW coupe. We all have interests. That's right. I heard the creator of Minecraft just sold the game. I think it was more than that. I think it was more than 1.3 billion. We'll check that in a second. Let's check Space Cowboys thing out here real first. Let's see. All right. All right.
Okay, hello, it's me, Jacob. I'm here with your honest weather report for February 2nd, Groundhog's Day. Now, here's the situation. The fancy weathermen on the TV, they got all sorts of fancy computers and Doppler radar machine, and they can see what for storms are coming and when it's going to nake down. But that's not what they use to tell if spring's coming or not. You know what they use? A groundhog.
Like we're going back. Right. We've got satellites, we've got weathermen and everything, and they say, let's see what the groundhog's doing.
They don't use the fancy computers. No. Now, it's actually old Pennsylvania Dutch folklore.
What folklore? I'm going to give my 7-year-old 1080 Ti to rig as my hammer. Yeah? Well, why not?
There's going to be 6 more weeks of...
Listen. What you can do if you've got that old 7-year-old rig, why don't you put the Minecraft server on that? Why would you run on your new machine? Why would you put a Minecraft server on a machine you're using all the time? Because if something crashes and like it breaks, you just screwed up everybody's game. It might not, to the last chunks and last data dump that was saved. So that's what this machine here. Let me show you this real quick. Let me finish this real quick. I'll show you.
Later, he goes back down the hole and hibernates for a while. But if he comes up out of the hole and he don't see a shadow because it's cloudy, well, then that means spring's coming. It always wondered me. He could see when it's going to be spring, but he couldn't see a 22 bullet coming towards his head. You know what I mean? Okay. Now, don't get your panties in a bunch.
Your panties in a bunch.
They do a terrible mess on the hay fields, and they're hard on the horse's legs. You know what I mean? So there's whistle pigs out there, and we try and take care of them when we can. So here's
frickin' whack. You're speaking Japanese? I think you might be doing something wrong in the manual partitioning, but Windows Master Boot is known as cause trouble, definitely. Okay, so let me show you exactly what I do. I'll show you exactly what I do. I know now because I have 2. Okay, right. That's fine. So what you could do is you could use Windows disk management, and you could put both of, like, if you want to separate your physical drives, but it doesn't matter. If you're using SSDs, it doesn't matter. So what you do, okay, let's see. Linux Ubuntu installation dual boot Windows. Okay, so this is exactly what I do. Okay, back up. Prepare space in Windows Disk Management. Shrink your C drive. Shrink your C drive to create at least 25 to 50 gigabytes of unallocated space. Then create installation media. Download the Ubuntu ISO, and it says right here, actually, it says using Rufus. Oops, I broke something. Oops. Using it says Rufus or Valencia Etcher. All right, so same thing. So download that. Install Ubuntu. Okay. If Windows boots directly, change the boot order in your BIOS. If grub doesn't appear, use boot-repair from a live. You're right there. If grub doesn't appear, use boot repair from a live USB stick to fix the menu. On separate drives, both are ensured. Make sure they're both in UEFI or legacy, and install a bootloader. So it's really that easy. It's just a couple of steps. All right. But it does if you have things like BitLocker and stuff, that will need to be disabled, or it won't let you install. It requires Windows to install things. It won't allow changes to the BIOS and stuff be made from Linux. So that needs to be shut off. I kerploofed and became interested in driving. And then I knew, sure, I was going to squander my retirement funds. And that's the hand-me-down law that we need. We need servers dedicated. We don't need a GPU to run the server. You do not need a GPU to run the server. Correct. Right. It's the GPU. I mean, the server is 100% text. When you see on the gaming side, on your client machine, when you're playing, when you see blocks, it's actually just text. It's just, so the server says put a block here and it's coal, put a block here that's copper, whatever, and then your game, the game part is what builds the graphics for you to see. The server is all text. Plus, the new server has better single core performance. There you go. Okay, yeah. I knew an Amish girl named Jane who was freaky as hell. In E65 BMW 325i with the M54 B25 inline six, making roughly 192 horsepower, rear wheel drive, and rear seats fall down. My dream car as a teenager was a 97 M3. A lot of people like them M3s. E36 M3 is a solid machine, still not a dream car, right? Follow the instructions, boys and girls. Follow instructions. Yeah, so yeah, repair grub, right, right. It seems, okay, I've never had that issue. But obviously it's in the standard AI list for what to do. So probably so many people do it's a standard thing. To be done. 300 horsepower grocery fetching rocket. What up, fool? Yeah, but this okay. So these are the steps on it, okay? Download the image, create a bootable disk, boot from the drive, select the type of installation, and then choose your install, ready to install complete, and then update. That's just standard for everything. But yeah, for what you need to do, here's instructables for dual booting. Let me change this out real quick. And this icon you see right here, that's the Ubuntu icon. All right. Back up your computer. Create a partition. Here it is. So shrink the volume, shrink your C drive or whatever you're using. Create a spot with at least, and this is the thing, it only needs 30 gigs, but you can do whatever. I've got 130 gigs for mine. And then it tells you exactly what to do, to how many megs you need. Create the boot drive, and it tells you exactly what to do, what to change. Restart your computer. Here's the boot menu. Try Ubuntu without installing. Install Ubuntu. Check your disk for defects. So you can do all that. Choose the installation type, where you want it, and then where you want it. You want it wherever that new partition you made is, and then it'll be completely separate from your Windows install. So what would you recommend for VR capable machine? Me, I actually do not know hardly anything about VR, brother. It's never come across. I was back in the day when I was in the movie industry, I was given an Oculus. It wasn't an eye set. It was the thing that it was USB. It went in front of your computer to see your hands. I may still have it somewhere. But yeah, I've never gotten into it. I've really seen some good compact VR headsets coming out. Look good lately. ND is he's the man you want to ask about that. You can't copy me. You can't fake me anymore. I can. I ended up buying 2000 WS6 Trans Am. Love that car. Sold it to 13 STI. Now never own another Subaru. Right. Yep. Boredom can be horrible. Say hi to the naysayers. Somebody's got to take a leak. Yeah, that's right. Kahora uses a ton of VR. Right. She's in VR chat all the time. She talks about. Right. I absolutely forgot. Sorry. My apologies, Kahora. Yeah. Kahora. Madam wants to, Madam I am Adam wants to know. But yeah, I tell you what, it's an amazing difference to see. Run, if you're into gaming and stuff and you've ever run benchmarks, run a benchmark on your Windows machine, reboot to Linux, and then run it again and see your frame rate. Because listen, even though you might have a graphics card, you've also got whatever memory you have available. And what's taking up that memory when you're running Windows or any operating system? When the operating system just gets out of your way, like there's so many things that are still listening in the background on Windows. It's waiting for all kinds of stuff. It's waiting to see if a Bluetooth phone connects to it or whatever. It's rather than you saying in Linux, you can say, I want to connect something right now. And it says, okay, now I'm listening for something rather than it just listening all the time. And but then if you have hundreds of those things, it takes up a bunch of memory. I use it for everything, for streaming. Okay, so the only thing I don't use it for as of today, right now, only thing I use it for is when I want to play Minecraft. And that's because I have never even taken the time. And I just switched my main machine to Ubuntu last weekend. So I haven't done. I haven't played whenever I want to play Minecraft on stream, I boot back into my Windows partition, my Windows installation. So I can play Space Invaders. I want a nice sim rig with a headset to practice driving without crashing a million cars. Yeah, Arch. Yeah. Listen. It doesn't make any sense to not try it because you don't need to break your machine. You can do it all. Linux is so small. You can boot it from your USB stick and not install it on your hard drive, and you could test this. And you'll see how much faster it is, and it'll be even faster than that when you do actually install it. Sim racing is sick. How about some dudes got into motorsports nowadays? A lot of people like that stuff. Most games are not supported by Linux. Even Steam is last within the library. So what people have been saying, the main thing is the problems they're having is for anti-cheat, but the games run, but we have that problem, right? Still, having it doesn't make any sense not to dual boot. Then people will start saying, I'm not running Windows. If you want more players on your game, get it fixed, get it working. It's their fault it doesn't work on Linux, not Linux's fault. Linux has been around forever. Look, the Steam Deck is Linux. ADHD got me distracted. How much USB storage do I need to load Ubuntu? So I have a lot. I think it's 16 gigs, but let me double check. All right. All right. Ubuntu from USB stick size. Not Groupon, Ubuntu. All right, let's see. Let's see if it has. Okay, requirements. Let's see. 6 gigs. 6 gigs. 6 gigs. 6 gigs. 6. A 6 gig or larger USB stick. 6. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Whatever happened to real games like Cards, Pool, Darts? I play pool, I play darts, and I play cards. Agreed. Yes, I recently upgraded Windows 10 just to Blender. My laptop is not piece of trash. Dude, Blender was written on Linux and still is. It's open source. You can run Blender on. You get yourself a 16 gig USB stick and put Blender and Linux on it. Ubuntu's fine. Then when you want to use Blender, you can boot to that just for Blender if you want Windows for the rest of your stuff. It doesn't make it, if it only takes 2 minutes to reboot your machine, 5 minutes, but you're spending 3 hours in a program, you might as well waste the time rebooting to another operating system if it makes everything better. And then you're like, well, now I want to get online. Okay, now you're done using Blender. So then reboot your machine back into Windows. And this is the thing. You'll start spending. But the thing is, like, the internet's the same. The internet doesn't care what you can download Chrome and Firefox. What up, Ertz? Computer games are ruining the Western world. Yeah, a lot of servers are running Linux. So a lot of Microsoft has Microsoft Windows Server, but a lot of their servers are also Linux. Yeah. You can get a 256 gigabyte stick and run it off that permanently. Right. Absolutely. Forever. Right. Let's take a look. What percentage of servers run any version of Linux? Between 60 and 96%. 96.3% market share. Linux holds a 96.3%. So only 3.7% of all servers are running Windows. Brand new winners. If that was true, Windows 10 shut down. Would have mattered to a lot of companies. No, servers. They were saying servers on a laptop. But an average Joe like me win it. Right, sure, right. That's the thing. Decide what if you spend 90% of your time surfing the internet, then it doesn't really matter what you use. But yeah. Free on Steam. Yep, Linux is definitely good. That's exactly what I do. I dual boot. The whole operating system takes up less space on USB. That's right. Right. You were saying 8 gigs for Windows in like a decent Windows installation takes up 8 gigs of RAM. And wonder why? Because then look, because now they own all this stock in RAM companies. So everybody's like, my computer's slow. Oh, you need more RAM. Well, it's $300 for 8 gigs. Well, I guess I'll do it. Blender is CUDA comparable to if you have multiple GPUs you can render. Yes. Can I get an option for assistant deputy? I thought you already were assistant deputy. Let's see here. 4 cores, hot garbage. Yeah, dude. If you've got an old machine, swap over, dude. Swap over. Do it. It's worth it. Nothing is Windows is a market old capital. El Carismo will attain them. Yeah, iOS, Mac, and Android all different roles. Yes, iOS is Linux. Android is Linux. Macintosh was Linux that they just Mac OS X. At OS, whatever you want to call it, was they took Linux and then just edited the shit out of it. They basically, because it was open source, they had all that code for free, and they just changed it. Lossless scaling is cool. Yeah, just slap another GPU in that bad boy, right? That lossless scale 2 Titan TTXs. But for data processing, Linux went 100%. Listen, when you're running a server without a monitor on it, right? You don't have monitors on your racked servers. You don't care about any of the graphics processing. You're sending out text. You're sending out data. So yeah, you want the fastest thing possible. How many deputy labels can you generate? Just one. Linux is good for old PCs. I got 2 2080s right now. I'm running Ubuntu. Ubuntu. This right here. This is what I run. Ubuntu. And we talked about it the other day. You said it was a African word, meaning like better than Windows. Yeah, no, it's unbelievably. Listen, there's a reason that all these servers run them. That's all these servers run them. People are afraid of change, and Microsoft knows that. So if people are afraid of change, listen, why? How would it be possible that Microsoft could slow down from one iteration to the next? How can it slow down? What would they do to slow it down? You think they would just be able to figure out things, do things more efficiently? You've got more speed, you've got more RAM, you've got faster RAM, but it slows down. How is that possible? Like I showed you this earlier. Let me see. Oops. Look at this. This was off a 400 megahertz machine.
To get the actual hurt is, it just kind of hurts me because there was a day a long time ago when you would be able to take Windows, press enter, and boom, it just
see how
launched.
fast that loaded?
Look at how fast that is. That's Microsoft Word launching in a fraction of a second, maybe 0.75 of a second. And this is from a Pentium 4 400 megahertz.
400
still on like
megahertz.
one of those disk platter drives that had to like read.
Not 4 gigahertz, 400 megahertz. So, and it opened that much faster. Yeah, maybe, but it still did all the same stuff. It might have added like AI completion and stuff like that, but why? Why is it so? It should be the same speed. Now that computers got faster and more memory, they could add just enough to keep it opening at the same speed. So they do this on purpose because they make money on you guys upgrading and buying RAM. The same scam that Apple runs. They artificially slow your phone down to save your battery because the battery's not replaceable. But what does that do? You're like, man, my phone's slowing down, so I buy another phone. It's a scam. It means equality and fairness to all. There you go. The gamers, yes, 100%. Yeah. DRM, yeah, absolutely. Not many gamers are leaving Windows. Listen, Windows is in the past month, a lot of people, listen, the market share for gamers went from 3% to now 13%. It's never been over 3.4%. Linux has never been for gamers. It's quadrupled in a month. I have vibrational leg syndrome. How do I cure it? Process can be hurtful, very annoying. Okay, so we call that AI is good. We call that restless leg syndrome, and that's typically a problem. At least I had it also, and I don't have it anymore. And I was on pharmaceuticals for it years ago, and now I'm not. So a lot of times it's a lack of potassium or magnesium. Now you might be taking plenty of potassium and magnesium, but you got to look into your vitamins, brother. Because listen, look, watch this. Vitamin B12 and restless leg syndrome. Okay, low vitamin B12 levels are significantly associated with and can cause restless leg syndrome, RLS, due to nerve damage. So brother, and I'm not telling you which one to buy, but I absolutely take it every day, and I take it along with D3. Check into it, brother. Down with Windows. I hate the sunlight. It's good. I supplement everything the sun is giving me. D3 in a bottle. That's right. Yes, I know what you're talking about. That's what it is. So your nerves have these, just like copper wiring, they have insulation on the outside of the wire. Your nerves do the same thing. It's called the myelin sheath. If you don't have the proper nutrients in your body to make them, it gets thinner, and then you get what's called which is short circuiting, basically from nerve to nerve. You have restless leg syndrome also. A lot of people do. Most people are B12 deficient. That's correct. The Word PowerPoint, they all take like 5 seconds to completely open, even on gaming PCs. Right. It doesn't make any sense. They do it on purpose. No problem, my friend. No problem. It says B12 intake, let's see. B12 deficiency is okay, here it is right here. So just what I just said, actually. A breakdown of the myelin sheath around nerves. The myelin sheath around nerves, leading to neurological issues like RLS. Deficiency, leg numbness, tingling, muscle weakness, restless sensations, especially at night. Because they want everything to be subscription based, yummers. They want you to have to keep paying for more speed. It slows down. Then well, I don't want to throw away this $1,000 PC. Maybe I'll just buy a $300 stick of RAM. I learned today what the difference is between chaff and flares. chaff, right, is a radar reflecting material, and flares are actually burning material like phosphorus, red phosphorus. Mine is caused by disc herniation. Why did your discs herniate? And then what happened after that herniation? But I don't know. I'm just saying, look at it. I blame it on Israel. It's because you left the shadow under cursor on. Let me see. What was I at? What were we looking at? I learned what's the difference. Okay, chaff and flares. What's the difference between chaff and flares? Okay, chaff consists of metal-coated reflective fibers to create a cloud that confuses radar-guided threats. Flares are hot-burning chemical payloads to deceive heat-seeking infrared missiles. I'm smart. Mine is worth $3,000 for 256 gigs DDR5, 6,000. Jeez, mega. Ever had such a slow PC that you switched off and all the visual noise? Yes, absolutely. And then once I do that, I switch to Linux. Stay out of my room. Yeah. Listen, life can be complete different. It's unbelievable. Like, listen, I've got 6 gigs of RAM on this machine. I'm running Linux with complete graphical operating system, and I'm running a Minecraft server that's got huge builds in it. Like, and many people can log in all around the world, and it's running all this fine. Why? And I can also watch videos and stuff while that's happening on 6 gigs of RAM. I have a 4 gigabyte stick and a 2 gigabyte stick. And that's kind of slow. Yeah, then switch them back on Linux, right? Because listen, it's free. They're not getting anything. When you have companies that are so greedy that they're not happy with the trillions of dollars they've made, they want more. They want more. They want more. They want more. So what can they do? And they don't release their They don't release their source code. All I'm trying to do is play the original version of Doom. Yeah, you could definitely do that. Yeah, I think you are on the wall. I'm almost positive you're on the wall, but I'll put you on there again. And I'll show you guys the server right now too, the Linux server, as I go to this. Hold on. This will take just a second. Hold on. I don't have my phone set up for. I don't have my phone set up for this yet. Well, let's take just a second. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, let's audio. Hold on. Okay, so this is my machine. This is my Linux machine, and this is the Linux. Hold on. Let me turn that off. Sorry about that. So that was my Ubuntu machine and CPA. I'm running Minecraft. Oops, that's the wrong way. That was EVA. Oh, come on. Ow, 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 ow. JVA. Jeez, Richard. There you go. All right. Size RAM. I don't care. I don't care. That's the thing. It doesn't care. It can use the way. The biggest difference between Windows and Linux is how it uses RAM. Yeah, it doesn't care. The server I'm building is going to use 64 gigs of 6,000 megahertz RAM. Okay, I think it's overkill. How much dedicated RAM would I have for a server? It depends. Like I said, like if you're like what are you running a Minecraft server? It depends what you're serving. If you're serving video and stuff like that, then it's a lot of data. You know, so you want, and how many people do you want to be able to connect to it at once? How many people do you want to serve? How much? That's what the big thing is. What I would always do is do an guesstimate, start the server, and then when you start as people start to use your server more and more, and you see yourself running out of RAM, put in more RAM. Sweet. I don't know. I may just buy a reputable laptop and call it a day. Yeah, you can do that too. Yeah, Linux is light on resources, right? Very light. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Like, look. Let me close some of this stuff down real quick. I don't know why. I got plenty of RAM. Linux on a floppy disk. All right. Oops, you guys can't see what I'm looking at. Well, this is a 20-year-old PC, but regardless. And he's running Linux. That's Ubuntu right there that he's running. Oh, it says right there. It says right there. Linux with Ubuntu 2404. That's today's release. And oh no, he's saying here that it can use a floppy disk. Linux. Here you go.
Hey everyone, if your old Windows PC is crawling, you don't need to buy a new machine. Today I'll show you 5 lightweight Linux distributions that will make your aging
How are you, Sean?
fast again. Let's jump right in.
Hold on one second. But it has driver issues too. A good Linux laptop is a good option. The thing is, you've got to use your time wisely. The only thing you can't replace on Earth is time. If you work, if you do gaming, and I'm talking about building games, creating games, if you do 3D work and you're in Blender a lot, it will run like 5 times faster on Linux. So if you love gaming on your machine, then use Windows while you're gaming. But then when you're going to spend multiple hours in a program like Blender or Godot or anything like that, boot back into Linux. It doesn't make any sense because the amount it's unbelievably faster. My laptop battery has decided to die, so basically desktop now. So that machine right there also, the server I'm running, the battery is dead. That's running 100% off wall power. Right. Even using cycles to render. Yeah. Framework's a great brand. Yeah, absolutely. Anyone who thinks they're God or whom accepts people calling themselves God is not welcome. People who calling themselves God is not welcome with me if they're in my vicinities. And I have some programs that only work in Windows, so I'm stuck in it. Yeah. I mean, so your options are either don't use those programs and find ones that do. Like, that's a big thing that I had a problem with in the beginning. Is I was like, no, it's got to use Microsoft Word. But then I found out about OpenOffice, which opens Microsoft Word files as everything. And, it's like, so like I won't pay for anything ever like that.
First up is Linux Lite. Built on Ubuntu LTS, it gives you a familiar Windows-style desktop with a star menu launcher, taskbar, and tray icons.
So even this version of Ubuntu, it's laid out like Windows. Like Windows, they have one like Windows 7 and one like Windows XP. So it's just a skin. So under the so it appears like all of your stuff's still in the same spots as Windows. So this is a great thing. I do.
You get LibreOffice, VLC.
LibreOffice, yeah, that's OpenOffice became.
Plus custom tools,
what up, Rat Power?
light tweaks, and light updates to manage apps and system tweaks. As long as you have a 1 gigahertz dual core CPU, 2 gigabytes of RAM, and 20 gigabytes of disk space, Linux Lite runs smoothly and stays supported for 5 years. Next is MX Linux, based on Debian Stable. It shines on legacy hardware with official 32-bit support and graphical MX tools like MX Snapshot and MX Package Installer. In live mode, you can test compatibility, then install the XFCE edition for a responsive interface on just 1 gigabyte of RAM, a modern i686
1
CPU,
gig of RAM,
and 5 gigabytes of storage. It's rock solid, though the software versions aren't always bleeding edge. Third is Bodhi Linux, featuring the minimalist Moksha desktop. You choose between standard HWE, App Pack, or legacy editions and only install what you need. With just a 500 megahertz processor, 512 megabytes of RAM, and 5 gigabytes of disk space.
So 500 megahertz machine. If you've got an old machine and you want it to run like today, you can. Just don't have Windows on it.
Bodhi runs almost anywhere. Its sleek, distraction-free interface sits on Ubuntu LTS, but
Ubuntu backbone again.
Upfront since it comes nearly bare. Peppermint OS takes a cloud-centric approach. The Kumo app wraps web apps like Google Docs or Spotify Web, so they feel native, saving resources. Based on Debian Stable with XFC,
so if you've got fast internet and you've got a small hard drive, 1 gigabyte hard drive, you can put this on it and it runs like a Chromebook, a web book. It just gives, when you open things, it opens them in a browser. Like if you want to do word processing, instead of opening Microsoft Word or Open Office or LibreOffice, it just opens into a Google Doc, which has all of that too, and that's running on their servers. Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable you still get awesome. People don't know
1 gigabyte of RAM, an Intel x86 CPU, and 10 gigabytes of space. You'll add apps manually, but if you spend most of your time in a browser, this distro is a perfect fit. Finally, Linux Mint XFCE edition gives you Mint's polished experience with fewer demands. You get the Mint menu, software manager, and pre-installed essentials, LibreOffice, Firefox, VLC, GIMP, running on 2 gigabytes of RAM, and Intel x86 CPU, and 20.
So GIMP is the open source version of Photoshop, and this is on 1 gig of RAM, and it'll run the latest versions of GIMP. So why does Photoshop take up so much RAM?
Gigabytes of disk is a large community and clear document.
They want to push you over to say your computer is no longer powerful enough to do this, so buy the subscription service. Instead of buying the $600 Photoshop software, just pay $30 a month forever, and it can run on our superpower servers in your computer. And this is the scam.
Make it ideal for first-time Linux users. To pick the right distro, compare your PC's RAM, CPU, and storage to each distro's needs. For truly ancient systems, try MX Linux or Bodhi Linux. For newcomers on modest hardware, Linux Lite or Mint XFCE are perfect. And if you live in the cloud, go with Peppermint OS. Test each one from a live USB to see which feels best. Then install and enjoy a fast, secure system. If you
fast and secure. There's a reason 96.4% of servers are running Linux, because just think about this. If most home computers and office computers run Windows, if you're going to spend the time to write a virus, what operating system are you going to write it for? And that answers a lot of questions. GIMP has a very steep learning curve, though. I think Photoshop does too. I think Photoshop has a very steep learning curve also. But I agree. What up, Jerry, brother? How's things going? Okay, if you value your time at $20 an hour, is the learning curve steeper than 300 hours at 20 or 30, whatever? I can't do math. Right? So $20 an hour, does it take you more than 30 hours to learn GIMP? I can't do math, right? 30 hours. So if you value your time at $20 an hour, so you can get the software for free, go through the steep learning curve. In 20 hours, you can be and the thing is, learn what you need to know. This is the problem with college. They say, okay, we're going to teach you guys Photoshop, and they just teach you a bunch of random Photoshop options, in their curriculum. But when you get in the real world and you say, what do I want to do? You can say, hey, Google, how do I do this in GIMP? You know what I'm saying? I say it's much better. Dude, Windows is done, dude. They're done. They've made so many bad. The big thing right now is Microsoft Recall. Microsoft Recall will now take up 25 gigs of your storage to record your screen a frame every 2 seconds. So if you forget something or lose something, their AI will be able to pull it out of all the screen grabs. And they got so much flack about sending everybody's videos of everybody's screen to the web. They're like, well, now it'll be local on your machine. So now it's going to be even slower. Now you're going to have a LLM AI model running on your machine, scanning your screen every 2 seconds and taking up 25 gigs of your storage. We'll just buy more storage. Yeah, it's absolutely nuts. Windows Recall. And then like this, that they broke Notepad because they tried to incorporate AI into freaking Notepad. So, then we know everything you type and we might be able to help you type faster or type better. Get the frick out of my way. It's crazy. That's sad. Where was I? Let's go back to this. Let's watch this. We'll watch this all the way through because I kept breaking it up.
When you would be able to take Windows, press enter, and boom, it just launched. Look at this. Look at how fast that is. That's Microsoft Word launching in a fraction of a second, maybe 0.75 of a second. And this is from a Pentium 4, 400 megahertz, still on like one of those disk platter drives that had to like read to get the actual memory.
Raspberry Pis, dude, listen, and the reason Raspberry Pis are so powerful is because they run Linux. So they can have a few gigs of RAM and a few gigs of storage, and they use an SD card. That's why they're so kick ass, dude. I've run entire companies' phone PBXs on Raspberry Pis. The Raspberry Pi 2, 1. I don't think the 2 was out yet. Maybe it was a 2. No, I think it was the 1, the original Raspberry Pi, and that's it. You don't need you can remote into it, so you don't need to plug a monitor into it. It's absolutely crazy. If Microsoft keeps doing this, there'll be eventually a new player in the OS market, bring balance between Windows and Linux. I think it's going to be a kick-ass version of Linux. Why would it not be? The problem with a new player is they have to prove themselves. A new player is going to be attacked from every vector to see where their weaknesses are and who's going to be willing to lose all their data, their bank accounts and everything like that. Linux is already proven so well that when it matters, even with Microsoft, they're running Linux on their servers. I detect Gana. Why didn't Gates buy Linux or some version? Because he can't. It's not. I mean, it's open source. So the person that wrote the original operating system, Linus Torvalds, he put it out in the public. So if you can't sell it, so the way Linux makes money is they sell Linux creators or whatever you want to call it. The way they make money is they sell tutorials. They sell help. Like if you say, hey, I want to set up a Linux server, but I don't know how to do it. They say, well, I'll do that for you. The operating system's free. But that's the same thing. If you do Windows and you say, I want a Windows server, you have to buy Windows Server and then you have to pay somebody to set it up. So Linux is saying, we'll give it to you for free. It's copyrighted, so it's trademarked and copyrighted. I mean, that's why. Him can't do it for me. All right, let's see. Yeah, so you can't do it.
Just so fast, and the newest window can't even open up the start menu without just freezing. Hey, Satya here. We're here to revolutionize the business world. You just don't understand it yet. True, I understand that's your goals and your purpose, but then answer me this one, Satya. Why is Anthropic being better than you? I mean, you've been making nonstop updates to the operating system, putting Copilot in everything. Anthropic just drops Claude for Excel instantaneously better. Like, I mean, you have to feel like a loser at this point. And with the amount of errors that you have, I just have to feel bad. Like this meme, it's not even funny anymore. Like at this point, I feel bad. This was a joke, and then the joke just kept writing itself over and over again. I have never seen a company so thoroughly on open source like Microsoft. I mean, they're just truly, it is the year of the Linux desktop 2026. I'm quite convinced that DHH and Satya are teaming up to create the greatest use case of all time. But the real bad.
Let's say. Linux distribution by market share. Damn it, I can't spell. Oh, I didn't spell, I spoke. They're up to 33.9 right now. So Red Hat dominate. Okay, 30 Linux web browsers, 28%. Red Hat leads in 43.1, and then Debian. So Debian is what Ubuntu uses. Ubuntu uses 34. Oh wow, it looks okay. So Ubuntu uses 34%. Debian uses 16. Red Hat uses 43. CentOS 9. Arch Linux, Fedora, Pop are negligent. Yeah, so there you go. Yes, Red Hat still has 43% with Ubuntu gaining. Or Windows realizes it's a mistake and becomes better again. That's a possibility. How do you tell them they're not doing good? The only way to tell them is with your wallet. Microsoft is not over. No. Enterprises are built on Microsoft and really isn't any better. Yeah, no, right. They're fine. I'm talking about us. Why do we have to deal with it? Why do we have to deal with it? Why do we have to deal with the bullcrap? Why do we have to deal with the and this is the big problem. If they're screen recording your screen and you have parents, grandparents, loved ones, whatever, that have all of their retirement funds and everything and all that access to a Windows machine, and somebody said, oops, they got in and downloaded your freaking video, 225 gig video at 3 o'clock in the morning, and now they can see you typing in your password and everything. It's absolutely, yeah, we don't need to deal with it, right? Go with Tiger.
Part is this black screen of death. If you have not seen this, this is ridiculous. Look at this.
Ubuntu, I'm really happy.
So this started January 13th.
I've worked in security, so I'm very familiar. I've taken old routers and flashed Linux onto them and turn them into firewalls. Linux is still the best firewall, hands down. It's the problem is when you set up a Windows distribution, you have to turn off updates or it might break anything you've done. If you're making $1 billion a year off of Linux, off of Windows servers, and they update it, how much of a day? If it's down for 24 hours because they updated it and now it doesn't freaking open the app that you wrote because like that's crazy. And then if you're running 911 services and doing dispatch and stuff on servers like that, yeah, it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea. And listen, the numbers are showing it. People are pissed. Microsoft wants to know what you're doing at every moment, and I don't give a shit. They can take all my shit. They can see when I pick my nose and I scratch my butt. I don't give a shit. But the thing is, there's people out there with stuff to protect, you know. And the thing is, they talk, well, if you don't have nothing to worry about. Well, what if I'm worried about thieves? Look at all the people that are just allowed to rob the treasury in the United States. And it's like, why would they not go to the citizens next? Yeah, I don't trust any of that. I do that because I know running hypervisor and a handful of VMs. Yeah, right. And this is the thing, and we can help each other. Like I don't need money to help somebody stand up a VM. I mean, and if you do, you can. And the thing is, the people that are willing to pay for it can go to you, and the people that can't pay for it can go to me, and we can cover all bases. This is what should happen. But I can't uninstall Windows to show them. Who's boss? I haven't played GTA 6 yet. Linux is way better if you're good with the code. Yeah, and you don't even have to be good with the code now. With things like Ubuntu, you don't even have to get to the terminal. Everything can be done. I mean, if you don't create stuff, if you're a consumer, Windows and Linux, if you're just going online and stuff, it doesn't matter. They both open web browsers. Yeah, it's yeah. And the thing is, I do create stuff, and I'm making it work on Ubuntu, and there's been no problems with drivers, no problems. I understand for gamers, absolutely, but yeah, it'll be working on it. Yes, I remember you, absolutely.
and then it
I got a
couldn't
good
quite
memory.
finish up. Sometimes
a
it was at
wall.
35%, because apparently at 35%, it's like handing it off to the temporary installer to do something extra. And sometimes you're just stuck at 0%. That was on January 13th. It is currently January 29th, and this still is not fixed. This is the recommendation to fix the problem.
Uninstall the
Just
updates.
uninstall it, bro. And by the way, when I say that this thing is still going on, they've already pushed 2 out-of-band updates, not
Why
their
do you want me
standard
to
updates to
AV?
fix the problems. And this
I
has
don't know what that means.
survived. This bug has survived
Do I do want me to
multiple
act on your
out-of-band
hand? I
updates.
don't want you to.
Honestly, at this point, I actually just feel bad because there's so many people that are stuck.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have a heater set up in the chicken coop. I ran power there yesterday to add more. So now I had a heater that I installed before the cold snap came in the area where they sleep, and then in the coop. And then I put another one out there that's used to keep plants warm, but I have their water on top of it, so it keeps it at 50 degrees. So if it starts to, so the water won't freeze. So they can, they're taking care of it. And they really gets cold, they're gonna be on stream with me up here inside my house.
Using Windows that I feel like
Yeah,
this,
it ended up
VX
working out.
Underground
It
guy.
ended up
Like,
working out.
I can't even, can I even make fun of Windows at this point? Like, is it kind of just, am I punching down now at this point? Is that what this is? Am I making fun of the little guy? You know what honestly the worst part about this whole thing is that I don't even think this is some sort of like failure because of AI. I mean, I get it. Dude, I love this skeleton. This is like my favorite meme that just keeps on going
What
and
up?
going. I'm not even convinced that this is a real thing. First off, that whole 30%. Honestly, people that are using Copilot or any sort of just like inline autocomplete, oh yeah, 30% of your code is written by AI. It's like, oh, okay, yeah. Sure. That's kind of like, gaming the metrics. I'm not even convinced that stuff is even true or even to blame for all this.
I agree with him here. It says Windows says that 30% of their code is written by AI, and I agree with him here where I think they're gaming the metrics. I think they're using autocomplete and because that's AI, they could say 30% of their code is written by AI. So if you want to type in print and you type in PR and it automatically puts INT and you just have to hit enter or tab, they're saying 30% of their code is written by AI. I don't believe for a moment that somebody said, hey, I'm Bill Gates, please make me some code that does this, and that, and then they shit out some code. I do not believe it. Absolutely not. I think they're calling autocomplete and predictive text their AI, which I guess is legal or truthful but deceptive, because it's not 30% of all of their code is like 100% of any of their code is 100% AI.
Honestly, this is just a massive failure of leadership. And it's incidentally involving AI and constantly pursuing the latest and greatest technology as opposed to just making their system good, constantly shoving in all these updates in places that don't need to be. Like, why? Why are we actually putting AI in Notepad? How about this one? Crazy idea. Microsoft, you give me 5 releases, okay? I want 5 months, 5 releases, no bugs, then you can have AI, okay? Hey, I'll give it to you, okay? That's it. That's the deal we're going to strike right here, right now. You give us 5 months of just quietness. I don't even want to hear the word Windows. You can put AI in Notepad. Until then, why are they doing this? Clearly they're burning bridges. Clearly people are more and more looking to an alternative. Is it really worth the pursuit of trying to win this AI war if you just destroy all?
The big problem with social media is little people think they have a voice. They don't. The only people that have a voice is the little people's credit card companies. If the credit card companies aren't reporting or the banks aren't reporting that these products are being purchased, that's all they listen to. They do not have an area on their profit loss statement that says Yummers, Chad, Valentine didn't buy Windows this month. They never see that. They don't know you exist. They just see the number of sales that they've gotten, whatever. They don't care how you feel. They're not looking at your X or your YouTube, not at all. The little people do not have a voice, but they're told they do because it's engagement. And the more they can get you to bitch about stuff, the more ads you see while you're bitching about it.
user satisfaction.
Horrible,
I mean,
man.
honestly, the real
Hey,
heroes
man.
here, the ones that should be getting everybody's praise, is the
How
fact
come
that
cats
the
are drunkards?
Microsoft
I don't know.
sales team has managed to
Everybody is.
continue just putting up numbers in enterprise and government, even with all this. Like somehow they go into a meeting and be like, hey, aren't you like broken since January 13th? Yeah, but let me tell you how great using Microsoft for business is. And somehow they're able to
Yeah, they
sell
don't care.
business after business. These guys, they're legendary. You know what? Honestly, sales team, you deserve an award. But at the end of the
They'll
day,
get one.
please stop releasing fixes that
This is the problem with paid for software. They've already got your money. Listen, they've already got your money. This is what I think they're doing. Okay, you ready for this? Because they drink too much whiskers. This is what. So, you buy a product, you buy Windows. Now you can have updates for the rest of your life. If they break it enough that you say, forget Windows, I'm going to Linux, then they upgrade again from 11 to 12 to 13 or whatever, and then finally they get good again. Now you're going to say, okay, but now you can't. Now you have to buy it again. So I think this is them convincing you to buy it again after they get good. Coca-Cola did the same thing back in the day when they broke Coca-Cola. They took Coca-Cola and they said, we're going to try New Coke. So they used to use sugar and Coca-Cola, blah, blah, blah. New Coke came out. Everybody said it tastes like crap. Then they said, okay, we're going back to the original flavor. So they went back to the original formula, but they swapped out sugar for high fructose corn syrup. If they would have just swapped out sugar for high fructose corn syrup, everybody would have freaked out. But because they broke it first by trying a new flavor, everybody was like, no. And then they were like, okay, well, and now if you look at the can, it says original flavor, not original formula, because it's not the original formula. So they're deceiving you, but now they've got it back. And now it's less expensive for them to make each can of Coke. So they lost a little bit of money. So here, they're not losing because people aren't not buying Windows. They're not upgrading Windows. So if they can keep it broken for a year, then all the people that haven't bought Windows in 20 years because they've just been upgrading, then they'll go back and say, okay, well, I haven't seen Windows since 11. Now it's up to Windows 20. Now I'm going to spend $99 for it. And I think this is what they're doing. How many bones are in your hand? 26? How many bones are in the hand? 27. A handful. First time I met a mod with humor. You deserve your boss. Yeah, yeah. I agree. How you doing, Taylor? All right.
Involve breaking Notepad, the simplest program in the world. And please, just fix your product. I think we're all sick of it. I'm tired of making videos making fun of you. It's not even funny anymore. Honestly, it's just a little bit sad. And I just kind of want to leave you on this high note. You know, I want to leave you with something that actually feels really good. So I feel like I have something really important to show you. Do you see this? This is a picture of Satya. I tried to make Grok and other services make him smile like William Dafoe, but they kept telling me they can't edit his picture, something about being a public figure. I don't know, they wouldn't let me. So instead, this is the video that Grok made, and I absolutely hate it. It just makes me so angry on the inside. I just hate AI video. At least I hate this AI video. It's just everything about it's awful. So there you go. All of that upsetness, you get to enjoy it too. The name.
AI gets veneers. You know, it's like did his teeth look like this in the beginning? It's like they look like exactly like they look like veneers.
Please stop releasing fixes that involve breaking Notepad, the simplest program in the world. And please just fix your product. I think we're all sick of it. I'm tired of making videos making fun of you. It's not even funny anymore. Honestly, it's just a little bit sad. And I just kind of want to leave you on this high note. You know, I want to leave you with something that actually feels really good. So I feel like I have something really important to show you. Do you see this? This is a picture of Satya.
Okay, he's not showing his
make
teeth
Grok
here. Okay,
and
never
other
mind.
services make him smile like William Dafoe, but they kept telling me they can't edit his picture.
Did you subscribe away? Away out? Let me know after you subscribe. I'll put you up there.
Something about being a public figure. I don't know. They wouldn't let me. So instead, this is the video that Grok made. Get out of here. That's not how we order coffee. We order coffee via SSH. Terminal.shop. Yeah, you want a real experience? You want real coffee? You want awesome.
Okay, I got you. Hold on. Okay. Ouch. Let's see. Ow. Let's see. Where can I fit you? Let's see. Oh, way out. Right, absolutely. This stuff doesn't matter. This stuff does not matter. It does not matter. The thing is, why are you convinced? Why? I guarantee most of the people in this stream and that will watch this stream do not use more. They'll say, "Oh, but Linux doesn't do this, or that." Have you tried? When's the last time have you found a place? There's absolutely people do not want to go out of their way to not spend money. Why does the hand mic echo? Because there's a microphone. Because the microphone that's in the studio. Well, you can't really see it right now. The microphone that's in the studio was on also, so both of them. I accommodate stress. What's up, Away? I know. You think I don't know? Hold on. All right. So let's do this. It's 4:30 now. I'm gonna take a break for dinner, and then I'll be on quarter after 5, 6 o'clock, quarter after 5, 5:30 ish, and then we'll run Minecraft at 8. Hey, there you go. Away. He's JVA. I've got IP addresses. Dun, 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 dun. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, so I'll be back after then. We'll run Minecraft and from 8 to 9 or 8 to 10. We'll see how it goes later on tonight, and then we'll run from 10 to midnight. Thank you, Chad. All right, everybody. Hugs and kisses. I appreciate y'all being here. Bye bye.